Except for those two seats. Well, welcome everybody. I appreciate everyone making it through the rain, the sleet, the snow, and the thunder, and all the other events that are happening out there. So we're like the post office said, we're going to deliver this project hopefully today. I want to say my name is Michael Reardon. I'm from the City of Albuquerque. I'm the Mayor's Director for Municipal Development. Most works at Public Works. Very proud to be part of this team and here today to present this effort. So today we're going to be kicking off the public information phase of the project for Paseo del Norte I-25. The state has taken the lead under the governor to make sure that we had enough information to get out to the public with what a concept could be for $93 million and the aspects of that project that we could present to the public and start getting feedback and make sure the public is, we're as transparent as we can be with the public and getting them the information that they would be voting on this November. So we did pick the original location over at Target so everyone could experience what the congestion is like every day. It is 3 of the most highly congested intersections within the city, and this project is important to work on those. So while we have had noble efforts in the past to address some of the congestion over there and some of the safety issues, nobody except for the governor and the mayor, and this time having the county come with us, has gotten to this level of a project. So I think we've done an excellent job, and I appreciate Governor Martinez and Mayor Berry and the county for being here, and Commissioner Grisham, thank you. We're going to have each of them speak a little bit today on the aspects of the project, and we've got models and boards and everything portrayed to explain the project a little bit. So with that, no further delay, Governor Martinez, thank you for being here.
Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today. Last April, we celebrated a major milestone in New Mexico transportation, and we did a groundbreaking for construction on the I-10, I-25 interchange project down in Las Cruces. Today, we're joined by a similarly exciting occasion as we kick off a public information effort and preliminary design for one of the busiest freeway interchanges in our state, Paseo del Norte and I-25. I am thrilled that we have set a goal of improving this interchange, Paseo del Norte and I-25. I'm thrilled that we have a set of goals of improving this interchange to rebuild it so that traffic congestion will be relieved and New Mexicans can travel safely to their destinations. By working together, the State of New Mexico, New Mexico Department of Transportation, the City of Albuquerque, and the Federal Highway Administration, as well as our partners, Bernalillo County and Mid-Region Council governments, have come up with what we believe is a very fiscally responsible plan to address the major issues of this interchange. I want to thank the members of the Albuquerque City Council and the state legislators who have supported this project all along. We have developed a plan that will focus on the 6 major issues this interchange presents and realistic ways to address them. Number 1, we'll improve the way traffic moves from the east to the south in the morning so people can easily get to work. Number 2, we'll improve the way traffic moves from the south to the west so people can quickly return home in the evenings. Number 3, we'll improve access and traffic flow at the intersection of Jefferson Street and Paseo del Norte, another intersection that is very congested. Number 4, we'll provide bicycle and pedestrian improvements across I-25 to connect paths in this area and promote alternate forms of transportation. Number 5, we'll improve freeway access from east of the Paseo del Norte I-25 interchange. And 6, we'll also make some improvements to I-25 between Alameda and Jefferson. These 6 major areas of focus will allow us to solve most, not all, of the problems in this area. And I am pleased to say that this project promises a lot of benefits at a very reasonable cost that we can afford. To maximize each dollar allocated towards this project, we're using a design-build method to rebuild Paseo del Norte and I-25. Design-build will help us increase efficiency by saving money and time through fewer change orders. In fact, if voters approve this project in November, we plan to select a design-build contractor next spring, get started on construction next summer, and have the project completed in about 18 to 24 months. So what we see from this vantage point today could look very different by late 2014 or early 2015. But I want to emphasize that the only way we can afford this project is to work together. The state of New Mexico and our transportation department are prepared to provide nearly $30 million in funding for this project. Why? Because we know that its success is vital not only to the local commuters that depend on this interchange, but also that depend on the interchange itself, but also for the reliable transport of interstate commerce, goods which make their way across New Mexico on a daily basis. However, this funding is contingent on another $50 million from the city of Albuquerque and $5 million from Bernalillo County. That will go before voters in the 2012 general election. We want to provide as much accurate information to voters as possible before that election so that they can understand why this project is needed and what benefits there will be. So we want to be able to be available to the voters so that when they go on the day of election, on that day, they have all the information available, understanding whether this is something they want to invest in or not. And we want to provide answers to their questions so that they can make a truly informed decision when they go to the polls this fall. That is why we've created a new project website, Paseo I-25-com, and a new hotline is 245-3150. Additionally, we have assembled a project team that is committed to making presentations, answering the questions from the public, and also seeking input from the public on design options. Our goal is to create a renovated Paseo del Norte I-25 interchange that is truly more functional and less frustrating and safer for everyone. This project has been needed for so long, and it was even contemplated before the Big I, and before the construction of that Big I, which was completed back in 2002. So it's been a long time coming, 1 decade ago. We have worked hard to pull together the necessary resources to get this plan underway, pending voter approval in November. Now is the time, because if voters decide not to approve the additional funding this November, there is a very real potential that Paseo del Norte and I-25 may not see improvements for many years to come. That would not be good for Albuquerque or for New Mexico as a whole. So please, tell everyone to gather information about this very important project. Ask questions, provide input, get on the websites, and vote to support the Paseo del Norte I-25 interchange renovation project. Because I am confident that together we can make this project happen, and we can make New Mexicans much safer when they travel daily, and for commerce to come in and out of our state safely as well, and quickly, because we all know that time is money. So thank you very much for your attention today.
Thank you, Governor. I appreciate you being here again. I know it's a long schedule for you. I want to mention, back in December, when Mayor started challenging me to work with the state and get this project done, one of the first steps you guys do is go meet with the Legislative Finance Committee and start working with the state on funding. And And today we've got a number of representatives here that are representing the group that kind of support that first group. If we have Representative Larry Yamaga, thank you very much for being here. Representative Doreen, James Wright, and Senator Don Ryan. I know the mayor wants to thank everybody personally for their assistance on that, but as soon as that got to the governor's office and we did a press conference, I think it was your first capital outlay bill, that big one to be signed. So this project, when we have true leadership behind us, is really moving along quite well. So mayor has also worked with the city council very hard to come up with $50 million going out to the voters this November. I want to thank our councilors who couldn't be here today, but their assistants are here. First, Councilor Lewis and his assistant, Sarah Westbrook, thank you for being here. Councilor Ken Sanchez and Elaine Romero, and Councilor Cook and Tony Durham being here. So thank you guys, and without that effort between the mayor and the council, we would not be at the voters level today. And sorry, Councilor Winter being here in person, thank you. This is actually the district you represent, so thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you guys. With that, I'm honored to introduce Mayor Richard Berry to the podium now to speak about the project and some of the benefits that's going to have for the city of Albuquerque.
Thank you so much. Really, start off with some thanks. We have Representative Conrad James is also with us today, as well as our city councilors. Governor, thank you for being here. Thanks for your leadership. Legislators, thanks for your leadership. Well, we're not here today. I'm sorry? Oh, yeah, I'll get there. Got a long list here. But we got here today because we work together, and we find ourselves in an unprecedented place during these days and times in politics. We're in a place where we have an opportunity. If the voters of Albuquerque go out in November and say yes to Paseo del Norte and I-25, we will get this project done once and for all. It'll be a tremendous impact to our community on the positive side. But we will have gotten there with Republicans. We will have gotten there with Democrats. We will have gotten there with the federal government, with the state government, with local governments, with the county, with our council of governments. We will have got to that point, and we're at that point today because people put aside differences and worked on a really important project. And I can tell you, just as a citizen, that makes me very proud that our folks, our public servants, have been able to stand up and work together for a common good. And so I'm just really, really thrilled. So a lot of people to thank. Secretary Dominguez is here with us today. Great leadership from New Mexico Department of Transportation on this. Commissioner Lujan Grisham, thank you, and the entire county commission for putting this on your bond issue as well. Mike Reardon, of course, the governor's staff. There are some legislators that actually took all of their capital outlay from this last session and put it on the table for this project. Chairman Kiki Saavedra from the Appropriations Committee, key in this project. Larry Larrañaga, key in this project. Jimmy Hall, Tim Lewis, Tom Anderson, Jim Smith, all representatives. David Doyle, Nate Gentry, Bill Reen, Conrad James, Jim White, Bill Payne, Mark Boitano, John Ryan. These individuals took capital and they took their appropriable amounts and they put it towards this project. So I want to thank you for doing that as well. Of course, our Federal Highway Administration, we don't get here without their tremendous support as well. So, and Dewey's here from the Mid-Region Council of Governments, thank you so much. So why does it matter? It matters because we spend 350,000 hours a year stuck in traffic at Paseo I-25. It matters because 56 million cars a year, 154,000 a day, go through this congested intersection. It matters because there's over almost 500 accidents a year at this intersection. I talked to somebody today that was in an accident at Paseo and I-25 due to the backup onto the freeway. So it's time away from our families, it's time away from our jobs. I mean, if you take those 350,000 hours, that's the equivalent of taking 170 of us right out of the equation. That's 170 work years every year stuck in traffic. So we're not at the softball game with our daughter, we're not at the baseball game with our son, we're not at home with our families, we're not at work being productive. And so it's just absolutely vital to get this project done. It also benefits us at this point in time. I mean, if there's a benefit to a down economy, it's the fact that we have municipal bond rates at this point in time at the lowest rates in history. I mean, we're getting extremely favorable bond rates. So from a taxpayer standpoint, it really, really makes sense to invest in any kind of a capital project right now, and this is a perfect example of that. It also matters because it creates jobs, not just now, but in the future. I think Dewey and his group, Mid-Region Council of Governments, has put together an economic impact for this project. And the economic impact is in the billions, not from the construction standpoint alone. Certainly hundreds and hundreds of jobs will be created that are much needed for our friends in the construction industry today. But it opens up opportunities. It gives us an opportunity to develop additional parcels of land. It gives more businesses an opportunity to come and risk their capital in our great city. And it doesn't just matter for Albuquerque. This is very, very much a regional project. It's very, very much a statewide project. It's hard, you know, travel anywhere you want in New Mexico and ask somebody if they've ever had to travel through Paseo on I-25. I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody that hasn't been able to do that. And as the governor said, it's also bike friendly. If you look at the map or the model over here, there's a bike bridge that goes across the interstate as well, so it connects for our bike transit folks and our pedestrians as well. So, you know, I'm just going to come out and say it as a mayor, I need your help. The state needs your help. We all need your help. We need you to come out in November, and we need you to vote yes for this bond issue. Absolutely doesn't raise your taxes. These are dollars that you're already sending into the city of Albuquerque. We're repurposing those dollars to this for this bond issue. So those dollars are already there, thanks to our counselors for being very savvy and very wise and helping us craft a solution for taking already existing dollars that are coming into the city and appropriating them towards this. And that was no easy lift. That was a pretty heavy lift at one point in time. But I think they made some very pragmatic decisions there. So here we are. It's going to be a design-build project. The state's going to take the lead. And I know Secretary Dominguez is going to talk about that. But I think the governor hit us squarely on the head when she said we have an opportunity right now in the city of Albuquerque to take great support from the federal, state, local, county side and put it into an opportunity that if we don't take this opportunity, I'm not sure when it will come around again. And so do take time to educate yourself. I know the governor and myself have told our staff, make the information available. Get out there and show people, answer the questions honestly, answer them candidly, show them exactly what they're going to get for their tax dollars, and people will go out in November and make that decision. And I just hope as the mayor of this great city that they make a decision to support the sale on I-25, work with all of our partners from multi-governmental agencies, and let's get this project done. And we look forward to answering any questions you have either now or any time up through November so that we can get this important project started. Thank you so much.
Deadline. Sorry, man. Mayor's already mentioned one of our other partners. I want to make sure we recognize them today. Dewey Cave, head of the Mid-Region Council of Governments. Thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be here as well. Mid-Region Council of Governments is an organization that has all the member agencies from Sandoval County, Bernalillo County, Belen, Los Lunas, all these communities that come together and talk about transportation policy. They've got resolutions that say this is the #1 priority for a transportation project for the city, for our region. So I want to thank you very much for being here today, Dewey. Don Martinez from the FHWA, if you're here, I saw you earlier. Nope. Thank you for being here. We always appreciate that money. Rob Perry, Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Albuquerque. He's always the one that's making me unengineer things, and I'm sorry I couldn't do that in my speech today. No color, no commentary. But so some of these boards here today and some in the model are due for our weekly conversations, and him making sure I can do these things a little better. So thank you, Rob. Debbie Bauman from my staff. She was here before. She's instrumental in getting this project done. So thank you very much. We've got Scott Perkins and his team from Wilson & Company. They're the ones that are doing the preliminary design for us. So Scott's in the back there. I know a number of your team are here. So thank you for getting us to this point and doing all this work. It looks wonderful. Alex Romero from the Spanish Chamber of Commerce, thank you for your support for all the years of this project and moving forward. And to move on to more of the bond issues now, as we talked before, the city has a $50 million bond issue out in November 6th election. For one of the first times, I believe in the history, we're going to have two bonds out at the same time, one from the Bernalillo County. So it's going to be an interesting time to vote, and to represent the county here today is Commissioner Michelle Lujan-Grissom. So thank you for being here, and the podium is yours.
Well, it's a good thing that I'm not insecure about the number of people who are now leaving the room. It wouldn't be the first time this has happened to me. So this is a great opportunity and a great time to talk about a success story. So whose responsibility was this anyway a decade ago? Is it ours? Was it the federal government's? Is it the state government's? Is it the cities? Is it the counties? There were a lot of fingers being pointed about who should take the lead. And in a down economy where we have very scarce resources, it's very easy to step back and say, we really have to be careful. We really have to prioritize, and we know that this is a huge public safety issue, but we're not sure where our priorities are. And I think that Paseo got caught in that tangle more than just a single time. And so I'm really proud today, because you got a county commissioner, you got a couple of county commissioners, Maggie Hart-Stebbins, who's not here today, Ken Sanchez, who's not here today but represented, Councilor, said, you know, we could jumpstart this. I know the county doesn't spend money in this way. We got a lot of heat about whether or not we were going to be taking care of libraries and taking care of our community centers and doing the kind of work that's also important, and we are. We're going to take care of that. But if we don't do something about this public safety issue, and about the congestion, and about the environment, about people trying to go to work, and about putting people to work, then we aren't getting this work done. And that effort was embraced. Didn't have to be embraced. It was embraced by the state. It was embraced by the city. It was embraced by the legislature. And this is exactly the way these partnerships should work. It's embraced by the federal government. And now we have enough to start this project, to put people to work, to deal with this issue. And I will tell you, I commuted to Santa Fe for 17 years. And I missed a lot of those softball games. I missed a lot of those soccer games. And you know what? And I might have been late for work a time or two. It is important that we address these issues and help these commuters. You know, by 2035, we're going to have another 200,000 jobs on the west side. We're going to see this community, the Albuquerque metro region, grow to 1.5 million individuals. If we don't start addressing how people are going to get back and forth to their jobs and create this environment and start investing in infrastructure building and in the economy, we aren't going to solve the problems that are before us today. So Paseo, for me, is an incredible success story, and I hope the indication that we have many more of these partnerships ready to go. You certainly have my commitment to do that. So thank you for including me today. It's quite an honor to see this project moving forward. Thank you very much.
We always save the engineers for last. So my peer, my friend at the New Mexico Department of Transportation, Alvin Dominguez, thank you for being here, and good luck.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming today and changing their schedule on the fly. Of course, it was raining and lots of lightning around the tent, and we want to make sure everybody's safe. I think everybody's probably had a first-hand opportunity to see the congestion there. We wanted to make sure that we were there this afternoon. However, Mother Nature, of course, changes our plans a lot of times. First of all, it's incredible to see the partnerships that are going to be involved in this project. First of all, we talked not only about the DOT, but also the city of Albuquerque is such a key player on this thing. And I want to thank Mike Reardon. He's been instrumental in putting together the team and helping us move forward with this. Also, Dewey Cave and the Mid-Region Council of Governments, thank you very much, because it will be instrumental again, and I'll speak briefly in a second on how we need to update some of our data, and they're going to be helping us with that. Also, Bernalillo County, thank you very much for your support, also to reconstruct this number one interchange as far as we're concerned that needs to be redesigned for the entire state of New Mexico. I know the governor mentioned I-10 and I-25. We went through a lengthy process on that and finally got that one off the ground in southern New Mexico. That's the only other interchange other than I-10 and I-40 where we have two interstates meeting in the state. And by the way, the governor, that project is ahead on schedule, and we're doing the next thing down in Las Cruces. In addition to launching this public information effort today, I want to talk a little bit about what we need to do as far as the planning and design to get us there where we need to be next summer. If the voters approve the funding on November 6th, one of the things that everybody needs to understand, we won't have a groundbreaking the next day. It takes a while to get through all of the processes. However, the reality of the planning and design is we've been preparing for this for quite some time. We've already spent a lot of time and resources, and we will continue spending the time and the resources that we need to prepare us for not only November 6th and beyond, so we can stay on schedule to make sure that we start construction by next summer. Starting as early as next week, we will begin some geotechnical drilling and some soil sampling as part of our preliminary work. And also, as I mentioned, the Mid-Region Council of Governments will be updating their traffic analysis for the proposed improvements. We will be using the traffic projections through 2035, so we know exactly what the short-term and the long-term impacts will be. We'll also be working on developing the streamlined environmental document for project approval, so we continue to be good and responsible stewards of the land, natural habitat, and wildlife that's in the area while improving the traffic flow. And I want to thank Federal Highway Administration as we've embarked on some environmental streamlining here just regionally, and not only regionally here in New Mexico, but nationally, to try to help these type of projects get through the environmental process. So we need to thank Don Martinez and his staff for working with us on that. And finally, we'll continue preparing a preliminary plan and estimate so that when the project is approved, we can advertise and select a high-quality design-build contractor for the spring of 2013. We'll probably be redesigning by 2013. Yeah. The design-build method delivery was used on projects in the area such as the I-40 and Coors Interchange, New Mexico 528 widening in Rio Rancho, and the construction of the Big I. And we believe that is the best way to not only build a project this size, but also save time and money and shorten the design to construction time frame and have fewer change orders. As many as you know, the latest construction estimate for the project is about $93 million. The prior funding that we had secured, actually U.S. Senator Jeff Bingaman had secured, was extremely beneficial to us to get us to this point today. We have purchased some of the right-of-way that is needed for the project and compiled data that is necessary in helping us obtain all the approvals and certifications, along with the conceptual plans to take to the public and begin the environmental process. So I'd like to thank Senator Bingaman for getting us to for his important role for getting us to this point. Of course, we need to thank the governor and the legislature for the legislation that they passed last year in the capital outlay and providing us the legislative language to do the design build once we secure the rest of the money. As everybody knows, this is the top transportation project for the state of New Mexico. It's not only accessed by our local commuters, but also by the interstate commerce and the great deal of traffic that flows daily between Albuquerque and Santa Fe and to the west side of Albuquerque. It will provide important benefits in relieving traffic congestion, improving safety, and improving our air quality. The only way we can make this happen, though, is to work as a team. As everybody had already mentioned, we do have lots of partners on this team, and we'll need to continue working together to make sure that we can deliver this project on time for the traveling motorists. I'd like to recognize a couple of the team members that are here from the DOT staff. First of all, our project development engineer, Husheng Tebanaspor. I'm probably going to butcher his name. Where's Husheng? He's our project development engineer for the project. Also, Greg Clark from the Central Region Design Office. Where's Greg at? Greg's over here. District 3 engineer Tammy Haas has been really instrumental. District 3 Engineering Support Manager Tony Abbo. I saw Tony here earlier. Tony, been instrumental. Chief Engineer Max Valerio. I know Max isn't here, but Elias Archuleta, our program manager, is here. Where's Elias? Of course, our partner Mike Reardon. We couldn't have done it and gotten this far without Mike in the city of Albuquerque. We meet, the design team meets weekly with Wilson & Company, Scott Perkins. They meet at his office every week. We've been doing that for a couple of months now to get us up to this point and beyond. As I mentioned, we'll continue working on some additional processes such as soil sampling and geotechnical data beginning as early as next week. Also, I'd like to thank Patty Watson, who's a subcontractor. Patty, for putting this together and the public information and all the websites and everything else that you've done to get us the information and to get the information out to the public. We need to be transparent with the voters. We need to let everybody know exactly where we're at all the way along through the process. So I know we have a dedicated team, a committed team, and I can assure you that we will deliver. Once we obtain the dollars that we need, we will deliver. We've delivered on some big projects here in the area, and this is another one that we're committed to do that. So our goal for everyone to the community to know that as much as possible, to have plenty of opportunities to provide input into the design and to feel like they're also part of the project. So that's one of the main reasons why we're having the kickoff meeting today, is to let people know what we're doing, receive their input, and give them feedback too on their input. In closing, we're extremely excited about the proposed Paseo del Norte I-25 interchange reconstruction project. We believe it's a long overdue project, and we're confident that we're moving forward with this project and will have a significant impact to our traffic every single day. Again, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you, Mike, for putting this together. I appreciate it. Mayor, thank you very much. Governor, I truly appreciate it. We look forward for the support and the reconstruction of the project. Thank you very much.
I'll do one last thank you to Target Corporation. They didn't have to fulfill their promise, but they were donating the space for us and the area to have our presentation today. But with that, we are officially kicked off to our public information campaign. Thanks for being here, and we're here to answer questions.